Hello, how is everyone doing today? I don't know what is going on, but I'm kind of keep getting something about maybe a conversation where, so bottom line is like what I'm kind of hearing is it's not that deep. Somebody could be taking something so far. I'm also getting something about somebody could be alleging something against another person that isn't true. Okay, and it's because somebody was angered for some reason. I feel like a lot, whatever it is, it has a lot to do with. Look at that, they're not hidden. They're still hidden. Whatever it is, it has to do. It could be two people. It has something to do with people. You know, maybe somebody wanted to make somebody think or feel a certain way. All right. I wanted to kind of change somebody's opinion. Maybe they wanted to assert some sort of dominance over somebody or try to do something to manipulate another person in order to, you know, make them feel a certain way. So however it is that somebody was doing something like, let's say, I'm not going to give an example. I'm not going to waste time on that. But like guilting somebody or saying, you know, oh, well, that's so terrible. Oh, well, I see what you're saying, you know, because there's always two sides. There's always two sides. And each side has valid points. That's what I'm getting. Each side has valid points. Okay? But you can't sway one person to another for that reason alone, to try to guilt somebody, to try to make somebody feel bad and say, oh, well, maybe you're right because, you know, this or that and this and that's terrible. No, it's something like that. All right? So somebody could have been, you know, maybe somebody wasn't able to sway somebody, you know, either or. Somebody may have held up their part of the argument, but the other person, you know, didn't like that. They wanted somebody to kind of default. Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Ace of Swords. There you go. So with that, somebody lost value in the way that they think, but they also lost value in the way that they speak and assert themselves. Okay, so somebody can't put faith or stock in what another person says. You know, if somebody is alleging something, you know, somebody could have been, maybe it's their perception was a little bit unclear. You know, maybe they were just covered or shrouded in anger, resentment at everyone. You know, and then they decided to take it out on somebody in particular without actually listening to reason. Okay? So somebody could have lost an argument, lost a bet. Somebody had to eat their words. Somebody has just lost value. You lost value. Sometimes you get people that maybe look up to you. Have you ever had a point where, you know, you respect the way somebody thinks, you think they're highly intelligent, and they probably are, or you think that they are very, you know, well collected, they're very well motivated, they're probably, you know, established, they're very successful, whatever it is, and you see them in a certain light. And then when they say a certain thing, you're like, ugh. It's like that. Whether they could say something that could be completely out of ego, you know, frustration or anger, you know, or wanting to win something because the ego is far too big than it being able to back up what it's trying to state. If that makes sense. Leo energy. Leo energy. We are right now currently living in, at least here in the United States, living in Leo energy. It is Leo season, okay? Doesn't have to be a Leo. It's Leo energy. Strength. Again, you know, I kind of got something about this yesterday. That could be what is going on in the energy. You know, each day seems to mutate. You know, we're on this story, then we're on this story, then we're on this story. They're all different stories, but they're all in the same energy. So definitely. So it's somewhat mutated to a certain degree. Somebody now in a different situation is trying to maintain dominance or assert power over another using their words, but their words have no weight. In fact, somebody probably lost a lot of respect for another person. I don't see the same anymore. I've had that. I've been hanging around people, and you may have even known them for years. And then just that right moment, that 1 second, they say something, you're like, I've never heard you say that before. Maybe you don't say it, but you put it in your pocket. You're like, maybe there's something I didn't see before. I must reevaluate this. Meanwhile, this is something that's going over and over in your mind. Maybe you may not be saying it. For argument's sake, you don't want to cause a problem. You don't want to cause an issue. There could be a lot of people around during that time that could be in agreement or being a yes man. Yeah. And they may actually think something different. That happens a lot too. Okay. 6 of Wands, the bottom of the deck. 5 of Cups, 10 of Cups. There is... no, it's like, okay. All right. Okay. Somebody regrets, or they're looking back on something that they did at some point, some time ago. This could be within the last 9 years. Okay. Now, whoever this person is, they may have said things to a larger group of people in order to, people kind of sit in, in a setting where they're just kind of like all hanging out. They're all hanging out by the fire. They're all drinking a few. They're at a barbecue. They're at a party. They're at a book reading. Whatever the setting is. Okay. They're sitting around talking about, whatever, talking about a certain person. And they're looking at it from one perspective. Okay. And that one perspective is biased. Okay. So you have somebody who is very angry or agitated at something. Could be something that's going on with society. It could be anything. Could be a number of different things. And they see another person who maybe reminds them of whatever that issue is that they hate about that's going on in society. So let's say something like that. And let's say this person's completely innocent. They didn't do anything. It's starting to kind of... I hope you're making sense of it, because it's starting to open up to me a little bit. Yeah, and they may have tried to do something to convince a lot of other people, about this particular person. Okay. I don't know necessarily that it's jealousy. I can't say that that's what it is as of right yet. I feel like it's more of a thing about, a detest or distaste for, it could be like a certain particular group, It could be, as far as, race, ethnicity. It could be employment, such as, all bankers are this way. All police officers are this way. Okay. Is something that somebody had, done something in order to try to change the way a larger number of people saw somebody. They think they won. Maybe for a little while they did. Let's get a little bit more. 5 of Pentacles. I'm going to use this. Us against them mentality. Okay. Somebody may have gone through something, a radical change, could be within the last 5 years or so. However, during that time, there has been a change or a shift in someone's reality, in somebody's circumstance, because of whatever this is. You gotta remember that, whatever happens to us that's bad, there's always a catalyst in order to make us better. Okay? So certain things would never happen unless somebody did something to hurt us or cause discomfort. Then we would never do anything. If we didn't have, you gotta figure, if we didn't have evils in the world, we wouldn't have goodness in the world. Okay? Those two work hand in hand, unfortunately. if you're able to kind of see it that way. Okay, some people can't see it that way, but certain darknesses and evil in the world is absolutely necessary for us to do something. For instance, everyone just going about life and everything's happy-go-lucky. You know, there's never anything going on. Well, how do you know that you can appreciate something? How do you know that you can become a superhero? How do you know that you can become a lifesaver? How do you know that you can make impact on another person or in the world? Let's say you have a natural disaster. Okay, you have something like that happens. You know, or somebody that does something that's really, really disturbing or crazy and attacks many, many different people. Okay, you have one person that has this where, you know, God awakens inside of them and this hero comes out and they do something to stop that person from hurting another person. Or say the natural disaster happens. You know, somebody kind of risks themselves to go in and take care of something else or help another person. So without negatives and without evil in the world, we would never have anything that can bring about any kind of greatness, any kind of saviors, anything that can mean anything to us. Okay. That's kind of what you have here. So in order for somebody to go through this period, you know, had somebody not been shut out, pushed down, you know, insulted, humiliated, or just kind of like people just kind of closed the door on them or took them for something that they took somebody else's word on another thing, they would not have gone into this period of, you know, isolation or growth, shedding their skin, realizing, I don't want to be a part of that group. I'm going to have to shed off all that dead weight. I'm going to shed those clothes. I don't belong there. That was enough for me to see that I don't belong there. I don't fit in there. They don't align with me. So I need to shed all of that toxicity, that negativity, whatever it was. I'm not even going to necessarily say that they're all bad people, but there is bad around them and they're able to be manipulated. So in any sense, that is kind of dangerous to another person. I hope you guys are following me. Okay. Without that, you would not be who you are. You would not be where you are. You would not have learned anything. You would be under the influence just like everyone else. Okay. You could be in a position where you're not going to be able to be influenced. It's going to be hard for somebody to influence you, to distract you, to pull you away, to bring you down. Because now you have your own mind. You did not stay with the crowd. Okay? At some point it may have hurt, but going through that pain did something. It transformed you. Okay? And you got the, it's cancer season. You got this right here. You have, the Chariot. Something happened and somebody had become successful because of it. All right? These Pentacles. That's all there is to it, really. It's kind of the bottom line. Ten of Wands. Whew. Tower. It's definitely been hard work. It's definitely been hard work. Something has like basically been right at somebody's fingertips. You know, it's always just within reach. Whatever it is, there's still some hard work that's left. Okay? But for whatever this is, you know, whoever it is that's going through whatever this is, something is about to change or shift very, very rapidly from out of nowhere. Somebody could be thinking, man, you know, what's going on? I've been through all this. Now there's something that's kind of coming back and I don't want to deal with it. I've already gotten rid of this, you know. Or somebody's energy could be feeling very heavy. They could be feeling, you know, something is going on. I don't know what's going on with me. You know, why am I tired? Why am I this? Why am I that? Why am I feeling depleted? Why am I not satisfied with the food that I eat? Whatever it is, it can be a number of different things. Everything just has always been, just seems to be right within reach. Okay. Keep that beautiful tower there. Look, and there's that new beginning. It's just around the corner. Queen of Pentacles. Six of Cups, and then we have the Seven of Pentacles there. So whatever this is, there could be something that's going on. You know, people that maybe were around you at some point. If people had turned their back on you, if people had done something, they maybe had put a lot on your plate. Maybe you could be a very, very sensitive person. Let's say you're very sensitive, and you know certain things really, really do bother you, and you really do genuinely care about a lot of people. And to find out that somebody, you know, were not able to see that you're very harmless, or that they misconstrued something a certain way just because maybe something about you, the way that you look or whatever, that they did something to hurt you. And I don't even know that this person, whoever it was, even had the guts to kind of like tell you to your face. Okay? I feel like somebody's actually going to get the opportunity to see who it is that maybe had done something, who had been behind some of the sabotage and grief that you had been feeling, probably for a very long time. You probably had no idea what it was about. And that could be the shocking revelation that somebody's about to get, okay? Like a sucker punch or a gut punch, okay? However, and it's going to be somebody that's very, very close. It's going to be somebody that's very, very close, somebody that maybe you hadn't trusted, somebody that maybe you had helped, somebody that maybe had helped you. You know, something happened. And there could be some sort of a spark of a new dialogue. Okay. Nine of Wands. Ten of Swords. It is important for you to know that although, look at that. Temperance. It is important for you to know that although, is it okay to forgive? Absolutely. People say it all the time. I'm not forgiving. Well, then hold on to that poison and keep drinking it every day. It's okay. It's your choice. But if you don't want to forgive, you know, and let things go, to stop festering that toxic energy within you, and you forgive. It doesn't mean that if somebody comes up and says, hey, I'm sorry, you know, and say, I forgive you. It doesn't always have to be that. Forgiveness is for you. It doesn't have to be for the other person. That's up to you. That is also a choice. But if you've already reconciled with something, you're like, you know what, I accept people are the way that they are. And, you know, I can't do anything about it. I can just, you know, be okay with me and just recognize that I don't want to be like that, yada, yada, yada. That's your own forgiveness. That's for you. Okay? You don't have to continue to harbor and fester that anger and resentment. Okay? Because it creates toxicity in the blood. It creates disease. Okay? So, whatever it is, handle the situation properly. Just recognize and know that, you know, sometimes people are just not as, I don't want it to sound like, you know, somebody like being above another person, because it's not necessarily that. But some people just aren't on the same journey as you, okay? They're not as enlightened in a certain area or aspect of life or human development, okay? That's what I'm getting. I don't know why I said human development. But that's what came out. So just recognize that they are not on your same timeline. You know what? You may be, you know, a little bit more ahead, you know, in this aspect of life. They could be a little bit more ahead in a different aspect in life. Okay? As far as whatever this is, it's best to kind of like, you know, remember that, you know, whoever this is, they, people are people. And if given the opportunity to do something once, they will do it again. Because humans are creatures of habit. All right? If they did it once, there's always a way that you could offend them again. Or, you know, find something or find fault. I don't know. Just be okay with it. Should I give an example? I don't necessarily feel like I need to give an example. Everyone who is understanding this message will understand the message. However, let's say somebody, you know, disliked you because of the color of your skin. Okay. And maybe somebody tried to assume or say that you did something or whatever, and they tried to misconstrue it or try to twist it around into something. Oh, that's what so-and-so does, and that's what this class of people do or whatever. And I think that's a big part of it. It's not necessarily about the color. It's about class. Okay. That's what I'm kind of getting. It's about, and I feel like somebody could be misconstruing something as far as whatever that is. Okay. Like a dynamic or a level. How can I say this? It's like that. Somebody maybe spoke out of whatever and said something that probably just wasn't cool. It wasn't right. Okay. And they said it about another person who something was just definitely very misconstrued. That's what it is. And again, it goes back to this whole thing about being dominant. It was like asserting some sort of dominance over another person. Okay. Wanting somebody to agree with something. I don't know. Somebody's probably going to know what this is, but that's just an example. Or just say, let's say it's like, all police officers do this, or all attorneys do this. All people in the military do this. It's something like that. Okay. All doctors feel this way. Okay. Just know that whatever it was, somebody was trying to do something to hurt another person and got them cast out or kicked out. And whoever the person is that felt, discarded or, shut out, locked out, has definitely transformed themselves, and they've gone through a lot of work, and they've actually come out on the other side. All right. The thing is whoever this person is, they've actually become very, very successful. They're creating something new. They've cleaned up themselves. They probably have a better way of, presenting, speaking. They've learned something about themselves, but they've also learned something about other people. They've become a lot wiser and smarter. And I don't think that they're really stupid enough, for lack of a better word, to allow, somebody else to kind of come in. They're not here to convince. I'm not here to convince you. I'm not here to convince you. That's what I'm getting. I'm not here to convince you. That's on you. It's up for you to take. It's up to you to take the information how you receive it. It's not for me to convince you. It's up for you to convince yourself, to know what is true and what is not true. There's nothing I can do about the way that you see me. That is on you. Perhaps you're not seeing something very, very clearly. Perhaps you're not seeing the other people around you. Perhaps there's an enemy in your camp. I feel like this could be like a conversation between a couple people. And one person's like, I don't have anything to prove to you. I don't have anything to prove to you. It is not up for me. It is up for you. It's up for you to decide. There's nothing I can do to convince you. You're only going to have to do something, Yeah. There's nothing I can do to convince you. That's up for you. That's your choice. But it does not involve me. Whatever it is that you think, or however it is that your mind is twisting something, that is up for you. That has nothing to do with me. That's what I'm getting. I wish you luck in trying to figure it out. Somebody could be coming to another person to confront another person, or to ask somebody to try to maybe smooth something over, to figure something out. And the other person's like, I'm not playing into it. That's an old way of doing things. That's an old paradigm. I'm actually far beyond that. And I don't entertain that any longer. So it's up for you. It's up for you to decide. That is not for me. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing that I can do to convince you. So I wish you luck in trying to figure that out for yourself, and why it is you feel a certain way, or why you feel certain things are important when they are not. It is up for you to find out why it is that you want to fall prey to petty nonsense. Oh, that could be more the heart of the matter. So that could be it. Whoever this is needs to realize or understand that it's not about clearing your name. Who cares? You're already okay. You've already gone through everything. Why go back down to that level? It's not about clearing your name. What do you care? Whatever that is that somebody sees you, that's an old way that they saw you. So that doesn't even mean that it was even true to begin with. So what do you even have to defend? People are proven by their fruit. Okay? By their fruits. Okay? You don't have to sit there and tell people. People who are unable to hear anyway. They're unable to heal. They're unable to heal, that's for certain. They're unable to hear and unable to see and unable to make rational decisions and unable to, they're just unable. That's all it is. And that's on them. It has nothing to do with you. So just know that there's somebody's going to be coming up to something like that, dealing with another person. Are you going to even entertain it? Does it have anything to do with you? Does it even have anything to do with you anymore? Does it even make any difference? What difference is it going to make in your life? What, do you want to be accepted, back into these people? Or do you want to come out of anger or ego again? Because we had that strength card at the very beginning. Are you going to come out of ego again and try to prove something? What do you have to prove? What does it matter at this point? Haven't you already moved on? Think what you want. That's what I got. So, like, comment, share, follow, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. If you'd like to reach out to me to book a private reading, email becomethestar1111@gmail.com. Or you can contact me through Instagram, DM, send me a message. Become the Star, all one word, all lowercase. Be careful of people that maybe reach out to you. Okay? I don't reach out to people for readings. I don't reach out to people to, beg them for money or anything like that. You have to reach out to me. That's how it works. All right? It's a violation of spiritual law. How about that? If somebody reaches out to you trying to give you a reading, we don't do that. All right? So, be careful of scammers. They're everywhere. And I have plenty that are pretending to be me. And it's not me. Okay. That's it. Good luck and prepare. What are you going to do with it? It's your choice.